Welcome to DWBI Adda channel. Please subscribe for latest training videos.
So guys, first of all, an introduction to Power BI. First of all, we all are familiar with Excel. So everyone who has been working in some sort of analytical role or may not even be working in an analytical role. So everyone is familiar with Excel. So Excel has a lot of functionalities. It does have a lot of functionalities, but there are things that Excel cannot go beyond a level. So for example, it cannot extend the capabilities that it has at a certain level as when it comes to data visualization and advanced analytics. So Power BI as a tool or as a software solves a vast majority of the problems or the limitations that Excel has, and it also gives you the ability to connect large data sets. So in Excel, you'll not be able to manage a row count which is approximately 1 million. I think it's 1 million, 1.05 million rows. So that's the number of rows that you can handle in a single Excel file. But over here in Power BI, so you can do multiple rows. So you can do like millions of rows, and once it has been loaded into the data model, so I'll show you in a minute so what that I'm referring to. So you can go beyond the capabilities that a normal Excel would have. So over here, so we'll begin with a simple CSV file that I have, right? And we'll do some transformations on the file, and then we're going to build on some visualizations, and I'll show you what the cool tool is capable of doing. All right, so this is a simple data set. So right now it is in Excel, or rather it is a CSV file right now, but we are going to just import it over to Power BI, and then we are going to do some transformations, and I'll show you what the tool is capable of doing. All right. So first of all, what are the sources that you can connect the data set from? So you can do a simple Excel file, you can do a CSV file. So that's the very common one, because these types of files are readily available on your local drive. So everyone is working on Excel files, CSV files, right? And on top of that, you can also hop onto the web. Now you can import data from any link that you have. So basically it could be a Google Sheet. You can drop a link of Google Sheet over here. So you will be able to, import files from a Google Sheet, the data from a Google Sheet. And whenever you are refreshing the data or you're keeping on adding data into that Google Sheet, so the things are going to be updated over here, because it is a query engine that comes along with Power BI. So over there you can basically refresh the data at a frequency that you want. You can manually refresh the data. You can set a refresh schedule. You can also set up queries that will allow you to refresh the data. So right now, since we have a CSV file, so we'll just go over and just import the CSV file. So you click on transform data. Now the window that we are going to get right now, it is basically, it is nothing but the query editor. So right now this is the query editor. So over here you'll get multiple options to transform the data. So basically you may have a data set which is raw, and it does not have the data set that you want to perform your analysis at a level. For example, you may want to split the data at a certain level. For example, let's say there are multiple columns. You want to split the data into multiple columns. So every single word that's coming in this column, you want to split it into multiple columns. So Power BI allows you the functionality to split the column into multiple columns. So for that, you simply need to click on split column over here, and you can split the column by delimiter. So you can click over here, and you can just need to mention that what's the level that you want to split the data at, right? So if you want to split the data at each occurrence of the delimiter, for example, I want to split the data. For example, I'm not comfortable with having United States of America. So I want to split the data wherever there is a space coming in between. So I just need to split the data at that level. So it will give me one column will have United, the other will have States, the other will have of, then America. So in similarly in any other country or any other column that we have uh, a similar data, so we can do that over here. So we can simply click on delimiter. You can click on each occurrence of delimiter, so it will give you the split of all the columns, right? So now what has happened? So the single column has been split into multiple columns, right? So this is giving me 4 different columns right now. Because sometimes what happens is that all the data is aggregated into a single column, which we may not want, right? So we just need to split the column into multiple columns. So this is how we do it. And similarly, if you want to join multiple columns, right? So currently we have split all the columns. So suppose if you want to merge all the columns and you want to create a one column, so you can simply do that. You can select all the columns. So it goes on at a level the way you click it. So first column is this, the second is this, the third is this, and fourth is this. So you click on merge columns, and you simply click on the delimiter you want. For example, now I want the delimiter to be different. So it was initially space. So what if I want the delimiter to be a dash or a hyphen? So I enter the delimiter that I want over here. I want the name of the column, whatever I could simply write in country. I click on OK. So what it has initially done is, so wherever there was a new column, so it has split the column. So we initially split the column. Now we have joined all the columns and we have merged into a single column right now, as you can see. And you might see 3 dots over here. So right now it could be a problem because when you're working with multiple files that are coming from multiple data sets, right? So it could be a problem as well. So what you can do is you can just replace the values wherever you see multiple dots. So you don't want that 3 hyphens that you are finding over here. So you can type in whatever you want to replace. So I'll tell you again, so how to do that. Simply click on the column, right click on the column, you can click on replace values, and you can click what value you want to replace and with what. So that's 3 dash that we want to replace with what. We just want to replace it with a blank. We don't want anything over here. So simply click on OK. And now that's gone. Okay. And you may even end up having that same file coming up to you over and over again, right? And that turns out to be pretty annoying. And in Excel, you'll have to do it over and over. The times that you receive the files, you have to do all these transformations again and again. But in the Power Query editor or the query editor or the Power BI desktop, so you can save the changes, and all the changes that I am doing has been registered over here, right? So for example, I want to round the number of units sold so into a whole number. So currently it is a decimal number. As you can see, the data type over here, it is decimal number, right? So what if I want to change it over to a whole number? So what I can do over here is, so I have 2 options. So I can simply click on this little icon over here, and I can change it to a whole number right from here. So that's one option. Or the other option that I have is, I can simply click on the column. I can go over to rounding. I can round up, round down, or simply round. So let's say I want to round off this column to 0 decimal places. So that's what it has done for me. So it has rounded it down to 0 decimal places. All right, simply you can do a lot of transformation using this. So over here also you can see that the profit column, you can see it's a text column right now. So Power BI is identifying it as a text. So right now we want the profits to be in a currency format. So we can simply click on this little icon, right? And now it has converted this thing into a currency, which is dollar in this case. So let's round gross sales also into 0 decimal places. Let's do that. So there we are, we have it. So we have 0 decimal places right now. Okay, so these are few transformations that you can do. You can also do a gazillion things apart from this. So you can extract the first character between let's say there are a couple of brackets that you have in a column, so you want to extract the data that is within the brackets. So you can click on this column, this option over here, text between delimiters. You can set the opening and the ending delimiter, so it could be a opening parenthesis and ending closing parenthesis. So whatever text is going to be between these two parentheses, so it's going to give you the text that is between these two parentheses. So it's there are a lot of functionalities over here, so you can go on exploring, and there are a lot of things you can potentially do over here. And apart from that, for example, you have this data which is quite raw, and you want to transform this data and you want to aggregate the data at a certain level. For example, you want to see the sales. Let's say you want to see the sale price, not the sale price, let's say the gross sales by segment, by country. So there would be the first segment, that would be government. Then there would be multiple countries, that could be Canada, Germany, France, Mexico, right? So what you can do is you can simply go on group by. So this allows you to aggregate the data. It is very similar to what you refer to as the pivot, the pivot, what do you call it, pivot option in Excel. So it allows you the same thing. So the people who are familiar with SQL, so this is the group by function. You should be very familiar with group by. So it allows you to group by the data at the level that you want to aggregate at. So this is currently allowing me to aggregate data at one level because I have only one column selected, which is segment. So I can go into advanced. I can click on add grouping, and I can click on the second level, which is country. So this is going to give me by segment, by country. And what do I want? I want gross sales. So, and what is the operation I want to perform? So not only the sum of sales, I can also do a median of sales, average of sales, minimum, maximum, simply count the number of rows that are available. So and when I can only just give the entire table which is available. So it will give me all the rows that are there in this particular aggregation. So right now we were talking about sum. So we can just click on sum, and we can just click on the thing that we want, which is gross sales. So this is what we intended to do, and this is what we have done. So it has aggregated the data at a level that we wanted. So let's filter out, let's say government, and let's see what is giving us over here. So we have 5 countries over here. So this is aggregated the gross sales for all these countries and given me the final value that we can see over here. So this is the query editor engine. So this you are basically going to use for transforming the data. So you may end up having a data which is not clean. So you can transform the data over here, and you can transform the data into a format that you want, which is workable for you, which is convenient for you to build reports on, which is in a format that you desire basically. So moving on, so you can also do other things as well. And another thing, so while you are doing all these changes, you're keeping on adding steps over here. So at a moment, if you want that you have done a couple of steps that you don't want, you want to undo a couple of steps, right? So you simply click on this small red icon over here alongside all the steps that you have done, if you can see, and you can simply click on this icon. This will erase the step that you did. So last step, so we grouped by the data, by segment, by country, so it has eliminated that step from here, right? So let's explore what else do we have over here. This is another thing. So let's say I change the data. Suppose if I have a data which is let's say I change the data type, on purpose from a price which was a dollar amount to a text. So we have this functionality over here which will allow you to detect what data type it is. So you can simply click on the column and you can click on detect data type over here. It will detect the data type. So it identified the data as uh, a whole number, and it changed the data type automatically over here. All right, we can do that step. You can one more very important functionality over here, it is that is pivot column. So you can basically pivot the column. So let's say you want all the countries in multiple columns, and you want some value over here. Let's say you want the sales column over here, the value of sales, but in a column form, in a tabular format, which will have the segments in the rows and the countries in the columns. So in that event, what you want to do over here is you would want to right click on the column, and you can select pivot column over here. It's not available. Over anyways, you can do it over here as well. You can click on pivot column, and it will ask you at what level you want to aggregate the data. So let's say you want to aggregate the data by sales. So right now we had all the columns available over here. Therefore, it has done the functionality that we wanted it to do, but we have all the other columns available as well. So in that case, what we would want to do is, so we can just select the columns that are relevant to us and right click and click on remove other columns. This will eliminate all other columns that we have and will keep only the columns that is currently available with us. Click on country. You can also, so since we want the countries in the columns, so we can click on country. We can click on pivot column and select sales from here. Right, so it has transformed the data in this manner. So this is the level of you can say the transformation that you can do, which is very convenient, and it is very responsive as well. It depends on the data set basically. So if you have a very large data set, it may take a little longer, but it is quite fast. So in this query editor only, you can transform millions and millions of rows. So at a level that I have functioned, so I have handled more than 10 and 15 million rows, and it's quite responsive. It is quite convenient to work over here, and it allows you multiple transformations in literally not much time. Right, so everyone with me over here, do you have are you able to flow with me? You're able to get the things that I'm telling you?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, so let's move forward. Okay,
Only we can use only Excel sheet only, or any XML files also we can do.
so we have the as I said in the beginning, so we have, you can also import data via R script, by Python script. So there are multiple options over here. So you can probably find that option over here as well.
Okay.
You can also connect a server to it. You can also connect a database to it. All right, so these are the functionalities. So there are many more. So I would suggest you to go on and explore in the Power BI desktop. So you can find multiple options over here. So just to give you a hint of couple more things, for example, if you want this segment column to be in a different format, let's say you want it to be in uppercase. So if you click on the column, you head over to the format tab over here and you click on uppercase. So this is going to transform it to uppercase. Right. So this is basically an engine. This is basically an engine that allows you to transform the data. Right. And I'll tell you the most interesting part about it, that now when you have created the data and once you close and apply, so after doing all your changes, you basically have to apply the changes and you have to close the query editor. Right. So once you apply the changes, so it will take a little bit of time. Now what Power BI is doing right now, it is saving all the changes and it is importing the data into the Power BI data model. So depending on the data set and how many number of rows you are handling right now, it is going to take some time and load the data into the data model. So now you can see it is done. So now you can go ahead and build your reports. This is the data set. You can close it since we have applied the changes. Now you're free to create your reports, right? But let's talk about another thing. So all the changes that we made over here, it's currently resting there in the system. So let's say I manually enter some data over here. So I simply copy the data, copy a chunk of data, paste it over here, and I enter the country as India. All right, and I save the file. So I'm just dragging the countries that are available over here. And just creating a tabular format of the countries that are available. So is the text readable in the screen or is it too small?
Small action.
Okay. All right. So you can see there are 5 countries as of now. But when I go over to the query editor again, so to open the query editor, so you can go over to the query and you can click on edit query. All right. So this is what we're working on right now. So we have changed the data set. We have added a few rows and we have added a new country basically. Right. So what you need to basically do is you can head over to transform, or rather you can go into the home column and you can just simply click on refresh preview. So what it's going to do is it's going to transform the data and it's going to refresh the data in the entire data set. All right, so the data might have refreshed. So for that we need to close and apply the changes and head over to report builder again. So you can simply click on close and apply. It did not refresh. Yeah, so you can see India over here as well. So now when I close and apply, and it will ask whether there are pending changes or not. So it's going to automatically refresh the data. And now you can see I have India over here as well. So when you're working on static files, we have this problem all the time that we are working on some data that we are pulling out from somewhere. So we might be downloading it from a portal, we might be receiving files over email, right? So we have it in a standard format, and the data is being added every day. So sales are happening every day, and the transactions are happening every day. So data is going to be coming up every single day. So it will keep on adding. You can keep on adding the rows in the same file, or there are other options as well. So when you refresh the query, so it's going to refresh the entire data set. Now all the new rows are also going to come in the data model. So it could be one file that you're receiving every day, which has all the updated rows. So this is going to work very well with that. And in case you are working with different files, so I'll just show you that if you are having, getting files every month or every week, so you can basically create a folder and you can import files from a folder as well. So I'll just show you how it happens. So right now we did all the transformations from a single CSV file. So now we can do it from a folder as well. So I'll create a folder. I'll call it simply data. So now we have data from two countries in a folder, right? So now to import data from a folder, so you click on get data again. So whenever you want to enter any data or import any data, you click on get data. You go to more to import it from a folder. you can simply have the link of the folder that you want to import the data from. You click on folder, and you simply paste the link over here and you click on OK. Now it is telling you that basically you have two files over here, right? And you can, edit the data. You can simply combine the data. It is simply going to load it over to the data model. Or rather, I would suggest you click on transform data. It will ask you what are steps you want to perform in the data set. So you might want a few countries. So basically it is giving me data by country right now. So you might have 10 or 15 different countries over here. So you might not want two countries. You can simply filter those countries out, all the files that you do not want. So these are basically representing the files that are available in that particular folder. So you can filter out the files that you do not want. So once you are through with that, so you can click on this little icon over here, which is combine files. So this is going to append all the files and create one single file. So basically what this is doing right now, it is asking you that do you want to transform the data by identifying what is the data type in the first 200 rows, right? It could be the entire data set. So since the data set could be way larger than 200 rows, it could be millions of rows. So it will take a sample of first 200 rows and will identify what data set, what type of data type it is, and it's going to assign a data type to that. So we'll continue with the default option. Click on OK. And there we are. We have all the data that we had in the two files. So it is going to give me two countries. It's going to give me Canada. It's going to give me France. And the moment I add another country, it's going to pop up again. So this is simply the name of the file. So you can remove it. You can right click on the column. You can remove the columns that you think are unnecessary for the report, because the moment you add more and more columns and your data set is heavy, so it takes more time for the query to run and refresh, right? So let's add another country. Let's see what happens. Let's say we add Germany. All right, and like we did previously, on the home tab, you'll have the option of refresh preview. So now you have three countries. So similarly, if you are, you might be getting data on a monthly level, that is a sales data or a transactions data. So now you can build your own queries the way we did right now, and you can keep on adding multiple transformations and all that stuff, and you can create your reports. And you don't need to create your reports over and over again. You just need to append the new files that are coming into the model, right? So this is the level of convenience that you are going to have while working with data in Power BI. Again, you can click on close and apply, and you can start building your reports. Okay, so that's the first part, the first thing that you would want to get started in Power BI, because you will have data. You more often than not, you would want to transform the data. You will have at least a few transformations that you want to perform on the data. And once your data set is ready, now you can build your reports. So once your data set is ready and you have done all the transformations, so I'll show you, it would come over in the data view. So this is the report view where you can build your reports, right? This is the what do you call it? This is the data view. So this is going to give you all the data that is available in the model. So after doing all our transformations, so this is the table that we are going to get. So all the transformations that we did, for example, we converted the first column into uppercase, right? So we have all the things in uppercase. So we have whatever changes we did. We introduced a hyphen over here. We added a country, India, over here. So it is all there intact over here in this data model. So this is how your data would look like. Now let's suppose you have this data set with you and you want to simply send this data set over to someone after doing all those transformations, because it may be in a very unclean format. It may be the data might be completely messed up, right? And after doing all these transformations, you just need to send the data over to someone. So you can simply right click on the on any cell within the data model. You can click on copy table and you can paste it in Excel. So we have the transformed data set over here. As you can see, you can simply email it over to someone, you can send it to someone, you can share a snapshot, you can create 2 queries, 3 queries, you can have a data set, you can simply paste and just send it over to someone. All right, okay. So this is the query editor part is more or less done. So there are definitely more and more transformations that you can do to the data. So we'll probably, in interest of time, we'll have to restrict it to this only. So probably we can do a couple of sessions on that later on.